Oh, hey, imagine meeting you here. I'm just hanging up the July of 2024 weather block because now that's a completed month so that you can see it while I talk. Let me get this adjusted a little bit better and get my list of stuff for us to talk about today. I discovered a couple of things. First of all, when you have the microphone plugged in but not turned on, you get no sound. So this is a second shot. The first one, I guess, was just practice. I would like to, as we are talking about the topic of today's show, it is back to school, but not for me. As of August 11th, when my colleagues, people that I worked with, go back trudging to school for 6 days of in-service. Oh my gosh, 6 days of how bad test scores were and how you can make them. Oh my gosh, so glad I don't have to suffer through that. I would much rather hang out with all of you and have a good time. Talk about the things that we want to talk about, not stuff that has no real purpose in life. Things that will never make anybody a better teacher, ever. But anyway, I digress. So we are here today. We are celebrating the fact that it is summer. July of last year is up there behind us, and it must have been hot because there is a lot of orange and even some red. And we'll let that flap away behind me. Let's talk about today's topics. Block parade. Let's start with that. I did get the August blocks that go right underneath those ones, all organized on the bulletin board. And I started to sew them together. My intent was to get them all together, but that didn't work out because life got in the way and we did some grocery shopping. Actually, left the house. It was terribly exciting to go to town, but that is beside the point. And so here is a picture of the August blocks. I will shortly show you more information about the September blocks. I promised you on Monday that I would finish a couple more samples of blocks with the little lazy daisies and a bead. So here are the two that I did for you on camera on Monday. Here's the first one. Here's the second one with them in a row. And here are my other two samples. I did single ones around this octagon button, and it turned out cute. And then this one was all in a row, and I love this one. This turned out so much better than I expected that it would. And I chose yellow beads because of that big yellow button that was already on there. And that ends Block Parade for this week. Hopefully I'll have more for next week. And hopefully I'll have August already attached to that. Feed sack bags. Well, last week I talked a little bit about, have you ever made bags out of feed sacks? And my intention was to get those finished this week. I started to look at cutting them and discovered that my friend had not washed them out. So they are dusty and need a bath on the inside, and then they take time to dry. So I did not get those done. Here they are, right where I stacked them. Life got in the way. That's just how it works. So maybe by next week, maybe I'll throw together a little video as I piece them together. You will be amazed how easy they are to make, and they are super sturdy. Like, you can carry a whole bag full of books, and it will hurt your arm before it will hurt that bag, or the bag will break. Just saying. And instead of using pins, you hold it together with clear tape as you're sewing. Yeah, Scotch tape like you use on packages and stuff. It's pretty easy. Easy, easy, easy. Anyway, maybe more next week on that. Who knows? I have been cutting little parts and pieces to make the September blocks and get them started with the piecing. And as I worked, I showed you I worked from the chart. And here's a little video on how I kit them all up so they are all ready to go. And all I have to do is grab a little block kit for each one of those little blocks. Let me show you how I sort it all out so I don't miss any of the pieces. Enjoy the video. I have a gazillion little pieces for the month of September, all cut. And they're laid in this box and laid on this board. I'm going to lay them out on the whole of my cutting mat and show you how I sort them. Now I have my gazillion pieces spread out, mostly by color. I tried to keep colors together, but yellow kind of got spread around. I'm going to take the little box I had all these in, and I am going to break into my bag, and each one has the color sheet and then the pull sheet with it. So I am going to do a little bit of sorting. I know that most of these days were Michigan days, and it's easiest if I pull out the ones that are not Michigan days. Oh wait, I have them turned sideways. Travel days, travel days. West Virginia, West Virginia, West Virginia, West Virginia, Michigan. Okay. So I have the West Virginia ones and the Michigan and the travel ones separate. I'm going to put the Michigan ones back in the bag because most of them are that. And these have the weird little pieces. So I will take and pull out my parts list and pull out my coloring sheet. And I know that I need 2 1.5-inch squares. So there are these, and 2 left legs and 2 right legs. So, or 3-inch strip. So that is that. And then I need low, the same things, legs and strip. And then for cloud cover, I need a 6-inch strip, or, well, it's a 6-inch strip. So there's my 6-inch strip of gray. Then I need a 6-inch strip of blue. And by now I can see what I've got. Polka dots, just a printed pattern, and chevrons. So I think that this pattern will look very nice next to that. So I'm going to pull that one. So I do have some say at the beginning. And wind, we have gray 60-degree triangle, which would be this set of this, and a 12-inch strip. So that takes care of that whole thing. I'll just lay it there in the box. And then I pull the next one over. Actually, I'm going to pull the next 2 over. Let's see, 25 and 26. Oh, I'm going to switch. Since these 2 are next to each other, I'm going to switch this out for that. And I can do some of that too. If I see that there's 2 of the same thing, I can switch it out before they are all next to each other. Okay. So then I need red of the same thing with the little strip and the legs. Where are those? Right there. And right there. Okay, and next we have 6-inch strip of gray and another 6-inch strip of gray. Let me swap this one out. Didn't realize I had two next to each other. Well, they're all next to each other. Put that one there. Should have done all three of these at the same time. Precip, the 6-inch strip. This one needs some lights. And let's see. Oh, wind is the green. Well, those two are going to be side by side, but that takes care of all of those ones. So I'm going to put those in the box, and I'm kind of stacking them on top of each other. And as I stack them in there, I'm going to put the color sheet right behind the part sheet and just stack it right there. Oh, we must have been in West Virginia quite a bit. Oh, here's the last West Virginia. Oh, we have red and red. So it's red and red. So I need this red and I'll do a darker red so at least it'll have a little bit of contrast. Okay, so it looks like there should have been 5 of those, and I think I mistallied. Well, let's just take a look. It happens. So for red, maybe I was looking at the wrong thing. I have 2. No, it should be right here under cabin. Should have said 4. So I need to make a mental note to go back and fix that. Now, let's see what we have here. Travel days. High yellow. So it has a long strip. It's one of these. A long strip. 6 2-inch and a 10-inch. So it's that. And I have another one here too. Oh, I've got 3 of them. That one's not right next to, but you know, I could still pull the parts for that as I'm doing this. Because they're all 3 yellow at the top. So there's the one yellow. And I know I had another one of those. There's the other one with little squares. Okay. Below, 2-inch squares and a 10.5-inch strip. 1, 2-inch squares and a 10.5-inch strip. Alrighty. And we have 2-inch squares and a 10.5-inch strip. Oh, it says P for pink. Oh, this one says P for pink. So when I can't tell the difference, there's the pink. Let me go back and finish this one. Pink, gray, oh, this one's going to be a very busy little block. Blue and green with the 60-degree triangles. Right here it is. And that takes care of the other West Virginia block. Let me put this in order. Okay, I thought I had messed that up, but no, I did not. Yay! sometimes it's hard to tell when there's the pink and the red look a lot alike. Okay, back to where we were. Back to the show. So we need cloud, black. Don't want to lose one of those triangles. Black for 1.5 inch squares. Gray 4.5 inch squares. And gray 4.5 inch squares. Then we go back over here, precipitation. 1 blue triangle, or 1 blue 2.5. 1 blue 2.5. 1 blue 2.5. Wind green, right legs, left legs, and 2 2.5 inch squares. So we have a right legs, left legs, and 2.5 inch squares. That one is done. This one is also green, right legs, left legs, 2.5 inch squares. And then last we have this one, right legs, left. This one's going to be a very busy block. Busy, busy, busy. Okay, so let me shuffle those. So these are all my, well, nope, there's one more block of the non-Michigan set. Like I said, these are all stacked nice and neatly in this little box. I have a container that I will, and everything else is Michigan. So this one, and we don't see this one very often. It's when we're travel, and it has a lot of squares. Low 6. Cloud is gray, and that takes 4. Lots of little squares here. And precip is blue and blue. And last is green, and it is 2 little squares. So there is that block. Lots of little squares on that block. And I knew I wouldn't have very many of these in the quilt because we're not traveling all over the United States. When we had our last little doggie, we traveled over 49 states and I believe 8 Canadian provinces. So now we are to Michigan blocks, and this is where I usually sort them into piles by color. Oh, I hear Dan and Doggy back. So I will put this on speed play and try to get it done before dog creates chaos. Here they are, all kitted up. The yellow background, the red background, the orange background, all the unusual blocks. All of the blocks for September are kitted up and ready to be sewn one at a time based on the little sheets. So now I have to get the blocks for August in order. So to do this, I have to sort. I'll make a pile with all the 20s, the 30, and then I will sort, and then the teens, and 10 and down. Now to put them in order backwards so that you can see them. Now, originally I was calling this segment Behind the Door, and then it became In the Drawer. And now it's sort of out of sight, out of mind. And I am rediscovering what stuff I have where and doing a little bit of organizing as I go. So I am on a bin right here in this organizer. let's see what I've stashed away. It'll be a surprise to me too. I'm pretty sure I probably need to organize it, whatever it happens to be. Here is the little bin sitting on the table. I see all kinds of things peeking out of it. Oh, in the bottom, there is a bin of little boxes. And here are the other things, some cardstock and a container of little containers. So I'm going to put the little bags in that red lidded container. They're jewelry bags meant for buttons or beads. And here are some clean bags that can be reused for blocks and other things. They don't even belong in this bin. I have a drawer just special for these over in the desk. There's also one of these in the kitchen. And here is the desk where all of these kind of things, these bags, live in a drawer. Topic number 5 is treasure. I love finding treasure at yard sale and flea markets, and this week I found a couple cute little treasures. Oh, that wind is picking up a little bit. I hope the part on the microphone that is a windsock really does work. So let's look at some treasures and talk about them. I found this cute little wooden box to keep needles in for the sewing machine since I can't seem to find any here. I have put the sewing machine needles in a really, really safe place. Dan found this little bag of charms for me, and they will be great on those bookmarks that I showed you last week. And here's the scattered on the table so you can see it. And I found this angel. She says prosperity on the back. I'm going to drill a hole through her, and she will also make a wonderful bookmark. Topic number 6, thoughts and challenges. Now, in 3 short weeks, I have circled back to this slobby mess that I can no longer stand. I have been watching videos on organizing, and I know what I need to do. And I am going to break out, as soon as I am done talking to you and uploading this video, I am going to break out the graph paper. I've already started measuring the furniture, and I'm going to organize my little space a little better because I can't handle working in it. Honey keeps knocking things over, and something has got to change before my head explodes. So I will be busy. Hopefully, by the time I talk to you next Friday, it will be all pristine and wonderful. I can only hope. Now that brings me to topic number 7. Number 7 is Literary Corner. Honey was very interested in the books that I had to share with you this week. She has seen them before. Well, not so much before, but she is a local West Virginia author. She has a very interesting website. If you just Google her, Carol Dean Jones, her website pops up because it's like caroldeanjones.com or something like that. And it talks about her life and why she chose to write these books. They are available on Amazon. I don't get any kickbacks, but I do like these little stories because they are mostly happy for murder mysteries. Don't know how that can be, but mostly happy. So check these out. They've been around for a while. I told you last week that I was not reviewing a magazine for the literary part. This week, I'm going to talk to you about quilting cozies, which are mysteries that do not have the blood, gore, and mayhem. So if you are a fan of Murder, She Wrote, you will love this series by Carol Dean Jones. She does have a website that talks about her life. She comes to the quilt camp that I go to at the 4-H camp in Hedgesville, West Virginia. So she has written, oh, honey's here to help. She has written 11 books, and that is the end of the book series. And her characters, it's the same characters throughout. Sylvia and her friend are always in trouble, but they solve all kinds of mysteries. So let me show you the covers of all the books. These are available on Amazon too. but I bought them right from her. She started out as an independent publisher, and now she is with C&T Publishing. So I think you can get them all in one book, but I'm not sure. I know that she made the quilts for her cover of each book, and the last two that were published by C&T have the pattern in them. So I have these in order. Running Stitches, and there's another quilt. I love this quilt. Seabound. Patchwork Connections. Stitched Together, a quilting cozy. Moon Over the Mountain. The Rescue Quilt, and it has all kinds of little dogs and puppies in the quilt on the cover. Missing Memories. Tattered and Torn. I believe they spend a lot of time fixing a quilt. Left Holding the Bag. Beneath More Missouri Stars, and you can includes instructions to make the featured quilt. And Frayed Edges, the last one. And this one, she writes in it that she's going to miss Sarah and Sophie, her main characters. And it also includes the featured quilt. So if you have seen any of these books, or have any of these books, know that there are others out there available in this series. It is a great little series of books to read and enjoy, since there is a quilt theme throughout. Hope you enjoyed this little segment. See you next week with another magazine. Number 8, viewer contributions. You guys must all be busy. That's what I'm going with. And I know I've been busy because those bags, there they sit. And Honey and I have been walking and enjoying the outdoors. And even Dan has been outside quite a bit more. So no viewer contributions this week. Hopefully we'll pick up with that next week. I hope you all have a great weekend. And if you find any good treasure at yard sales, you can include that in pictures too. I love pictures of anything and everything. My contact information is down below in the comments. Click on the word more and it will pop up with all kinds of things. Let me know how you're doing and what you're getting done. Have a great one. Thanks for watching.